You're doing these things to your cat every single day, and you've never realized it is silently destroying the trust between you two. You think you are a wonderful owner. Still, you buy expensive food, clean the litter box, and cuddle them whenever you want. You assume that is all a cat needs to be happy. Still, but the truth is, you're missing out on a secret world unfolding right under your own roof. Deep inside the DNA of that tiny creature, gracefully walking across your living room, lies an incredibly complex survival nervous system. It truly craves does not stop at the material level. It craves a connection at the deepest layer of consciousness, a primal language to confirm absolute safety. There are exactly 10 things the feline mind burns with desire for. Sadly, only 2% of cat owners worldwide truly understand and practice them. The rest are forcing their animals to live in silent endurance. Look at what society and the pet industry constantly feed into our minds. Our social media pages always romanticize owning a cat with videos of cuddling, dressing them in colorful clothes, or teasing them with laser pointers for a laugh. Still, we are taught that love for a pet is measured by constant petting and physical intervention. But that theory is completely wrong. It is shallow and goes entirely against the psychological structure of a predator. Still, that coercion is slowly suffocating your animal's soul. Recently, neuroscientists at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and leading animal behavior experts decided to decode this mystery. They didn't just observe from the outside. Still, they used micro-EEG scanners to map the brains of cats as they interacted with humans. They wanted to know exactly what truly triggers the pleasure center and absolute peace in their minds, and what they found blew everyone away. And dead still cats do not see you as their master. In their minds, you are a large creature sharing the same territorial ecosystem. There are 10 secret signals they constantly long for you to perform. It's not about expensive toys. Is the slow blink synchronized with your breathing to transmit a message of peace? It is allowing them to dominate a high space to observe the world without ever being disturbed. Is respecting the invisible scent trails they painstakingly rub onto the corners of the walls instead of wiping them clean with chemicals. They crave absolute silence when sharing a room with you, a companionship without the need for touch. Still, they long for deep sleep without being startled by sudden hugs. They need the hunt to end with a real catch, not a phantom laser dot that drives their minds crazy. Still, they crave the right to hide in dark corners, the right to scratch, to assert their existence, the right to approach you on their own terms, and the right to live in an undisturbed rhythm of time. Here's where things get even weirder. Our ignorance doesn't just bore them. It is actually intervening and rewriting the cat's brain structure. Imagine an experiment set up in a room with an ultra-sensitive thermal camera system. Cat is placed with an owner who constantly tries to show love by continuous cuddling, making noise, and forcing it to play. On the thermal screen, the cat's entire body gradually turns bright red and harsh orange. Still, that isn't warmth. That is the heat generated by a sudden spike in the stress hormone cortisol pumping through its circulatory system. The animal is in a state of hidden panic. Conversely, when the owner changes tactics, simply sit down, remain completely silent, half close their eyes, and let the cat freely decide the distance. Within just a few minutes on the thermal screen, the red color begins to soothe. The cat's heart rate drops. Brainwaves shift to a tranquil state. It slowly walks over, voluntarily rubs the top of its head against the owner's hand, and begins vibrating at low, calming frequencies. It has found true safety. See, when you understand and practice these 10 small things every day, you aren't just raising a pet, you're stepping into a communication frequency that the natural world has hidden for millions of years. You are not just observing this, you're a part of it. Your stillness and understanding are the only keys to unlocking absolute trust from a creature inherently born to be suspicious and vigilant of everything. A deeper level, this reflects the very nature of humanity. We always crave to be loved, but often forget that true love is the absolute respect for the other's boundaries. Still, love is not possession or forcing compliance to our will. Love in the eyes of a cat is a safe void, filled with quiet understanding. When you achieve these things, you're proving to the universe that you are capable of loving a completely different being with the most sacred and selfless respect. However, you must be careful with this information. So continuing to ignore those primal needs carries a massive hidden risk. When a cat lives in an environment deprived of what they truly love, they will not retaliate immediately. They will silently withdraw and fall into chronic depression. Silly might still eat, still sleep, but the wild light and sharpness in their eyes will fade away. A depressed cat turns into a negative energy-absorbing machine, bringing a melancholy that spreads directly into your own living space and mind. Deep into your cat's eyes tonight, behind those still, profound pupils, is a wild soul relentlessly craving to be understood. When you choose to become the 2% who truly listen and practice these things, you are not just bringing happiness to an animal, you're creating a masterpiece of harmony. Silyu become their most peaceful and greatest refuge in a world full of noise and chaos. But there is an incredibly common action that 99% of cat owners do every single day. Silvi think it is the ultimate expression of love, but in reality, in the feline language world, it is a terrifyingly direct threat. Do you know what that action is? We will decode that fatal mistake in the next video. Your cat ever suddenly bitten you while being pet? Leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the truth.